Hello, this is Lauren here, and today I wanted to share with you I'm going to call it my secret formula to falling asleep. But there are so many elements here that you will be aware of. But don't you think at times it's nice to be reminded, and also to look down on a how-to process with perspective. So to listen and follow instructions on how to do something. And today we're looking at how to fall asleep. As animals, humans, we're animals, we're able to learn a skill much as a dog can learn to sit or roll over. We are able to learn to sit or roll over. Now, I'm not saying there is a simple solution to falling asleep, but there is a process. And if we learn the process, falling asleep becomes easier. As we chat, I'm sitting in a chair and I'm sipping a cup of tea. So you may hear me sipping the cup of tea as we chat. As you listen to this audio, I suggest that you sit down or lie down, because I'm going to talk about how to fall asleep in a quiet tone of voice. I will emphasize certain letters, and I do this in order to encourage the production of oxytocin or other hormones that help promote sleep. So that's why I'm speaking in this tone of voice. And this is called ASMR. So it's using tones in my voice to relax you as I talk about how to fall asleep. There may be some slight background noise because I'm doing this in the mid-afternoon, so there may be a slight vibration of a vehicle in the background. Okay, before we start, I want you to sit down or lie down comfortably, and we will begin. I'm not saying that there is an easy process for everybody to fall asleep, but there are quite a few elements or actions we can take each day to help us fall asleep. And these are actions that need to be practiced, identified, and repeated ritually each day. So I'm going to talk about some of these things that you can do. Instructions to fall asleep. As I speak to you, I want you to notice your breath. In a lot of my content, I talk to you about noticing your breath. Breathing is the primary action over and above many other organic actions that keep us alive. Now, I could also say to you, consider the beating of your heart or other organic actions, but breathing gives us a focus in that moment that's quite easy to observe. It's fairly straightforward to have an awareness of your breath, a little bit more than a beating heart. However, to be aware of your beating heart is also helpful. Why do we focus on an action such as breathing or a beating heart? There's several reasons for this. One reason is that breathing is a symbol of our life, and breathing is a symbol of all our organs working together to keep us alive. And each breath is a symbol of being in the moment. Our organs need to be in the moment in order to breathe, or they would not breathe. It's an instinctive process that we conduct every few seconds. By being truly in that moment of the breath, it takes us away from thinking in the future or reverting back to the past. When we revert back to the past, we sometimes feel resentment or bitterness. It is possible to think back to the past in a nostalgic, pleasant way as well, but often our thinking back to the past or our thinking forward to the future takes us away from the pleasure of the present. Now, there is a time and place for looking back and looking forward, but it's a time and place that we need to deliberate over. That means to think about. So we actively decide to think in the past or think in the future. Overwhelming research testifies that when we are able to sit in the present, we learn to feel happier, we learn to feel more contentment, and we do feel happier and more contentment. So, when meditating, the experience of sitting in each breath is a foundation component to your ability to relax, reduce anxiety, and fall asleep. When we notice the breath, we physically consider the breath. What does it feel like to take oxygen in through your nose? What does it feel like as it passes through the nasal passages? Visualize it circling through each lung and then exhaling through the nose. So walking the journey of breath and concentrating on the journey of breath, not only does that keep you in the moment, but it teaches your brain to point at one experience. Now, today's society often drags us away from sitting in one experience because we've got mobile phones and Facebook and electronics and internet. So our day-to-day life drags us away from sitting in the moment. Breath is the foundation, the springboard to sitting in the moment, happiness, and enlightenment. Enlightenment is that feeling when you are fully and utterly in the moment and you have the ability to control your thoughts. I'm not saying that you don't daydream, but when you do daydream, you've made a decision to do so. Always know where your mind is pointing. Always consider where your mind is pointing. And your mind is much like a pet dog. You don't want your dog to run all over the garden and destroy your garden or run all over the park. Teach your dog to sit, stay, roll over, and your dog is going to be much happier and you will sleep more deeply. So your ability to focus in the moment is inspired and encouraged and supported by learning how to breathe. So in so many of my videos and audios, I talk about learning how to breathe and breathing in through the nose. I'm a big believer in generally breathing through the nose to support a sense of calm. There are times that we breathe through the mouth, but breathing through the mouth encourages adrenaline, so it's generally not something we would do to fall asleep. We may breathe through the mouth to come to a decision about life or motivation or decision making or rally some enthusiasm for a game or a life event, but not for sleep. Breathing through the nose is for sleep. So I've talked about several aspects about why it's important to learn to breathe and to learn to observe the breath. So firstly, you go through the physical action of breathing and you walk your mind through that and draw your mind back to the process of breathing in the moment. And that's something you can come back to again and again, and there's so many things you can do with that. So you can try different breathing techniques as well to be in the moment. Another thing that you can do that's really important is to create a sleep time ritual. Now, as human beings, we're social and we cognitively learn thoughts and behaviours. We are by nature comforted by rituals. A ritual is a set of habits that has a meaningful component or theme to it. So you may have the habit of, let's say, buying a donut when you fill up the car with petrol. It's just a habit, a meaningless habit. Perhaps every Tuesday you meet with good friends at a particular restaurant and you talk about your week, and you do it at the same restaurant at the same time with the same goal of engaging productively with good friends and fostering that friendship. That's a ritual. It's a repeated set of behaviours that underlines who you truly are. So underlines your values, your beliefs, your philosophies. So date night with a partner would be a ritual that you have put into place with thought and deliberation in order to achieve a set outcome. So designing a set of behaviours forming a ritual leading to sleep is absolutely imperative, especially for children and students. So if you're a student, you require a sleep time ritual to help you to study. Our consciousness likes rituals, productive rituals. You don't want a ritual that is not productive, but our consciousness likes repetitive, productive rituals. We find them comforting, we find them reassuring, much like a young child will have a teddy bear at night time. So adults repeat rituals to feel good. You know, we have our Christmas rituals, we have our wedding and funeral rituals to help with grief. So rituals are important, and it's important that you are able to identify the rituals in your life. Leading to bed, I'm going to talk through some of the rituals. Now, ideally, it's a great idea to write out your sleep time ritual or sleep ready ritual so that you are aware of it, you can identify how it supports you, and you are able to follow it systematically. I suggest that you write out in a journal your ritual, and again I want to emphasize that this helps students, it helps with the grieving process, and it helps us straighten and direct our thoughts. And the mark of a person with wisdom is the ability to point our thoughts in a direction that we decide, not randomly letting clickbait or Facebook or a phone call lead our thoughts. We decide when and where we are going to have a thought. So with our sleep time ritual, it may start something like 5 or 6 in the evening, and it may start with the decision to have the meal time in a certain time and environment and sticking to that, turning off the television set, turning off your mobiles, putting them away when you sit down. Have some formality with the evening meal. Sit down when you eat. Engage with others when you eat. Turn off outside distractions and be in the experience of each mouthful. So as you're chewing, consider each and every mouthful. Consider the experience of eating. Consider the experience of eating. And sit in that experience of eating. Really notice it. When you listen or actively listen to someone who is having dinner with you, look into their eyes, listen to them and feed back to them. So this is teaching us to engage, to focus on one thought at a time and to be in experience and to do it at the same time each day. Now it may not always work that way. There may be something that comes up, but having that ritual definitely supports the sleeping process. Then after dinner you can elect a time where most electronics go off. You may need electronics for a sleep meditation or music to calm you down, but most turn off. So perhaps you want to go on aeroplane mode on your phone or similar. Then at a particular time I would turn the lights down and slow yourself down. Choose to walk more slowly. Choose to breathe more slowly. Choose to be more graceful in your movements so you're bringing yourself to a point of relaxation and ending your day. I always decide on a particular time to journal. Now you may not keep to that time and that's okay, but have an approximate time to journal, and it doesn't need to be a detailed entry. 1 or 2 sentences is enough about your day. Remember something pleasant about that day. Always write something pleasant about that day among other events that you may detail in your journal. Turning the lights down, turning the electronics down where possible. Prepare yourself for bed and have a ritual that you repeat, and the ritual is to be comforting. Now it may include such habits as showering, brushing your hair, folding towels, brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, washing your face. When you complete these actions, I want you to notice repetitive actions during the process. So washing yourself in the shower with the soap, the water flowing in the shower, the feeling of the warmth of the water in the shower, the relaxed sensation the body gains in the shower. Be in the experience of having the shower. Do not allow your mind to leave the shower during this experience. Have everything ready in the shower, so have your towel folded and ready. When you come out of the shower, deliberately notice and experience the feeling of the clean towel. Unfold the towel deliberately, and when you dry your body, do so slowly, systematically, and with dedication. And notice the feeling of the towel against your body. Now, if you haven't done this before, it may sound slightly strange to focus on repetition. There is so much research to suggest that we are comforted by some repetition. The action of brushing your hair, the action of brushing your teeth. So by using these actions and deliberately focusing on the experience, we can lead ourselves into a state of relaxation and sleep. So I suggest you deliberately fold and unfold the towel. Enjoy the experience of that towel. My towels are very important to me. Dry yourself systematically. Place the towel away. Then brush your teeth. Now for me, when I brush my teeth, it's an experience in gratitude. So as I brush my teeth, I name the gifts of my day, and I notice the repetitive cycling of the toothbrush on my gums and teeth, and I use the experience of brushing my teeth to relax me and prepare me for sleep. For me, I bind or associate gratitude with brushing teeth, so each day I definitely have that time of day where I feel gratitude. There is enormous research to show, a lot by Dr. Emmons, to show that feeling gratitude helps us to sleep. Consciously feeling gratitude supports our well-being. Consciously experiencing gratitude can reduce illness, can increase contentment. So building the experience of gratitude into your day, as I do with brushing my teeth, means that I've got that little gift of well-being every day. Then after that, consider brushing your hair. Now, even if you don't have a lot of hair, taking a brush, running your fingers over the bristles and noticing what it feels like to brush your head. There is a lot of pressure points on the head that gives us a sense of comfort when we touch them. So by brushing our hair or our head repetitively can nurture and promote a sense of comfort. So I will brush my hair repetitively before sleep, and I notice the repetitive action of my hand coming down my head and running through the hair. And again, it's not important to have the hair, it's important to repeat the ritual. You can associate something with the brushing of the hair. I associate letting go. Now I also brush my body, so I brush my shoulders and I brush my hands and arms. I brush my arms to signify or symbolize for me letting go of negative experiences or letting go of the day. At the end of each day, I want to ensure that I have felt happiness or noticed happiness. So you may not have a great day, or perhaps the day doesn't flow as you would have liked it to, but there's always something in that day, even if it's just a breath or something in the garden or the sun setting. There is something that you can point your mind at and remember. Now, when you remember it and focus it, tease it out, explore it, and make it bigger by thinking about it. And that's the art of cognitively pointing your mind at something. So when I brush my hair, I let go of negative and I draw in positive, considering the way I breathe. Now, this may not always work as a charm, but the practice of doing it each day helps you cognitively learn to slow down. It's very important that you turn off Facebook or social media. Facebook is extremely destructive for happiness because it floods your brain with too much information. Our brain is made to manage one thought at a time effectively. It may manage more than one, but it is designed to experience one thought. So when we look at Facebook across a number of people, a number of comments, conversations, straight away it agitates the brain. It distracts the brain, and it takes the brain away from a state of calm. If we move away from a state of calm, we move away from a state of happiness. If we move away from a state of calm, we move away from preparing for sleep. So Facebook off, and decide what times during the day you are going to look at Facebook, for how long and what purpose. Before you get ready for bed, consider what you're going to wear. So the dressing gown, the slippers, so that your contact with the earth through your feet is comforting. Perhaps you like walking barefoot. Perhaps you like a pair of fluffy slippers. Make a decision to ground yourself in the earth in a comfortable way. Put on your dressing gown or some sort of clothing or whatever pleases you so that you feel a connection with the earth. You may want to have certain sounds or experiences like burning essential oils or candles. Everything's safe, of course, to prepare you for sleep. You may have music playing. If you have music playing, I generally encourage little to no melody because you want to prepare the brain and the consciousness for sleep. If it is a melody that draws a lot of feeling and motivation, that is going to take you out of that sleep consciousness and back into a motivated state, which doesn't promote sleep necessarily. Then when you reach the point of getting into bed, actively, consciously prepare the bed so the bed is well made, comforting and attractive, inviting. Consciously make the decision, now I'm going to get into my bed. Peel back the doona or the blankets or the sheets. Enjoy the experience of getting into bed. Think about that experience. Do not allow anything to take you away from the experience of getting into bed. When you lie in bed, notice that experience. Notice the comfort of that experience, the reassurance, and award yourself or affirm that you have completed a day. Now, in bed, I do it in bed, but you can do it before you go to bed. I name my issues or concerns of the day. I give them simple names. It may be something like relationship, school, work, garden, simple labels. And I imagine myself putting these in a box. I actually do have a box. I don't always use it. And imagine putting my issues in that box and closing the box. You can also do something like write the issues down, but before bed is not the time to resolve them. You write them down, you identify you have them, and you choose to put them away. So they're written down, or they're put in a box, or you may even say them out loud to a mirror. Put them away. You've completed a day. Well done. You've completed a day. Good work. Practice and repetition and experience are the three elements of sleep. So practice, repeat ritual behavior each day. Repetition, repeat that behavior in order to promote comfort. And experience, be in the moment. They are paramount to the ability to fall asleep. Sometimes before bed I may go through some yoga stretches. By opening the joints, I can feel more comfortable and ready for sleep. Once in bed, to complete some sort of progressive relaxation. The less stimulus for this, the better, but sometimes in the early stages of meditation we need stimulus. That is a clear, instructional, guided meditation to follow. A progressive guided meditation is one that takes you through relaxing the entire body, one limb or area at a time. So you may relax left eye and right eye, left arm and right arm. When progressively relaxing the body, it's a good idea to go left, right, so you're crossing the mind repetitively from left to right as you relax the body. And when you progressively relax the body, to repeat the process. So you may physically relax the entire body and then count down from 10, further relaxing, and then relax the entire body, count down from 10, further relaxing, and then imagine that you are above your own body, further relaxing, and then take the time to consciously think of any areas where you hold residual anxiety. Go to those areas with a visualization and relax those areas. Our mind is infinitely powerful, cognitively able to relax. But cognitively means learned cognitions, learned thought processes. So we need to learn how to relax, and it's possible to unlearn how to relax. Society and the media and the internet encourages us to unlearn how to relax. We are the commander of our own cognitive ship, so we can decide how and when to relax. I know it's not easy, but it's possible. You can also suggest or also consider having a sleep journal, where in your journal you note what works and what doesn't work. I like to use pure lavender oil on my pillow, and I like to burn lavender oil before I go to sleep. I like to meditate, a progressive physical meditation, when asleep. Now, sometimes this doesn't go to plan. Perhaps there is a worry or a concern, and I might find myself sitting in that concern. Then the following day, I'll review and reflect on that and make a decision how to move forward from that. And the way to move forward is always to come back to the breath, come back to stretching and yoga, where you're in the experience of physical alignment. Come back to the experience of self-realizing in the moment. Stillness, the art, the skill of being still. The possibility of falling asleep without a strong awareness of stillness is not so likely. So over time, learn to be still. Notice how I'm using my voice before sleep. This is something you can also learn. The timbre, the ilk, the tonality of your voice can help you to fall asleep. The pronunciation of consonants, the slowing down of speech, and the slowing down of thought can help us to sleep, because we're teaching our mind it's okay to go to sleep. Sleep is about recovery, about restoration, about rest. The only way we'll reach that state is by preparing ourselves for recovery, preparing ourselves for rest, preparing ourselves for restoration. Notice the way I'm using my voice now. There is a rhythm to my voice. There is a pattern to my voice. There is a tonality to my voice. You can also mirror this in the way you think and the way you behave, being in each step, the way you brush your teeth, the way you fold a towel, the way you prepare and get into your pajamas, the way you get into your bed, the way you go through a progressive relaxation, focusing from left to right, to left, to right. You may want to listen to binaural sounds, which are left to right, to left, to right. You may want to listen to delta or theta or alpha brain entrainment waves, going left to right, to left, to right. The repetition is almost like waves in the ocean, going one side to the other side, to the other side, and we find that movement almost rocking and comforting. Sometimes we can reach a point in life where none of this works because we have a particular situation occurring, perhaps grief or anxiety. Remember that Nidra meditation, or being able to be still in bed and progressively relax, is almost as good or towards the experience of sleep. So on those nights where you just can't sleep, either make a decision to get up and have a warm cup of milk with some nutmeg on top. Nutmeg helps us sleep. And then go back to bed and just meditate. And 10 minutes of Shavasana or Nidra meditation can help you feel refreshed for the next day. So there's times and places for saying, I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight, and that's okay. A big part of going to sleep is acceptance and a gentle approach to life, not a reactive or passionate approach. We all have our own personalities, but in order to prepare for sleep, we need to smooth out our personality in preparation for sleep and slow ourselves down, be in the moment, have a gentle approach to thoughts, events, relationships, and look at our patterns of attachment. Obviously, as human beings, we do attach, and attachments are healthy, but when they become craved or we have a desperate need for those attachments, whether it's work success or a relationship, if we have a desperate need for attachment, it becomes less balanced and may detract from our experience of sleep. So before going to sleep, working towards reducing attachment and accepting the behaviour of those around us. No matter what we think of other people's behaviour, no matter what general opinion would be of other people's behaviour, it is not helpful to us to have strong opinions before going to sleep. Before going to sleep, we want to close that day. You may have some ritual to close that day. It may be prayer, it may be prose, a poem of thanks, it may be thanking the universe, a way of ceremoniously ending that day with candour, with assertion, and with a gentle approach. So close the day and be grateful for something in the day. Even when a day doesn't go smoothly, be grateful that you are breathing. There's some ideas to helping you to sleep. Now, they do require practice. Another idea is to look at decluttering your house, your life, your relationships, your bedroom. So your bedroom is a fairly sparse, spacious environment without items that promote or may promote thought. Simple colours, simple decoration, and a decluttered environment. You may also want to write down in a diary everything you need to do the following day. Do that well before sleep so that you can emotionally, consciously put it away. Everything you do is geared towards slowing down before sleep, relaxing before sleep. So you're like a train coming into a station. You don't come into the sleep station full pelt. You take several kilometres to slow down and prepare your brakes to enter the station of sleep. So what can you do kilometres before, miles before you reach the sleep station? Now, I know some of you may say, my life is too hard, too challenging, and I'm so sorry that your life is at times difficult. I'm really deeply sorry for that experience. Learning to fall asleep has several different elements, and these elements include the importance of ritual, the significance of repetition and focusing on repetition. The act of repetition can be extremely relaxing and can prepare the brain for sleep. So just prior to sleep, we want to turn ourselves off and turn our thoughts off. Being able to be in the experience, being in the moment, can help prepare us for sleep as well, and slowing us down, slowing our brain down, slowing our cognitive thoughts down, and being easy on yourself, not being too hard on yourself during those times when it is challenging to go to sleep, and perhaps it's one of those nights when a simple meditation is about as good as it will get. Let's finish this quiet talk on the secret formula of how to fall asleep, let's finish with several breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, and focusing on slowing your body down and being in the moment. Slow your breathing down. Lengthen the breath. And observe the passage of breath, the journey of breath from the inhale right through to the exhale. And as you breathe, allow that sense of relaxation to travel through your limbs, arms, legs. And quieten the mind. Still the consciousness. And slow the brain activity down. Breathe. Put the thoughts aside and close your day. Slow down, and relax. Just relax. 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 Just relax. Relax.